Hello and welcome to the Quiver channel. I'm Jason, your host. Yes, this is my winter night shirt on one of my old t-shirts. And yes, that there is Zach, dog slobber. Zach likes to get on the bed and likes to sleep under the covers. And he's very adorable, and he likes to rest with his head against me, and yeah, he drools. Mental health and its challenges is never easy for anyone. You see, I would love for every day to be exactly the same, for my brain to be fixed in place, and for every single coping strategy that worked yesterday to work today. But those of us that know about this, that deal with all these problems, it's not about being special. It's not about being, oh, look at me. It's about a struggle to be just like everybody else. A struggle to be to that point where nobody notices you. Where you're not different. Where everything can be coped with. And it's like this weekend I had a lot of stress and a lot of coping strategies broke, and thankfully I had lots of people talking to me. The funny thing is, a lot of the talking came from people as well who I didn't class as close friends, but they still did the thing where they actually told me what I needed to hear. I did make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. And sometimes it takes people to point out why and to point out what is going on, so that you can make changes. It's always going to be an ongoing thing. It's always going to be a struggle. As I've always said, I always talk about these things on me, not because I'm special, but because I want people to realise that there's people they may know who are struggling, and I want people who are struggling to know that they're not alone. I am always trying to improve myself. I am always trying to evolve my safe space. When you see that there, that doll there, it's a bit weird, it's a bit strange, it's a bit of a niche thing. To me, it's something that allowed me to start playing games on my own again and using the arcade machine and things like that. I was able to convince my brain that I wasn't alone in the house, which helped me alleviate and stop certain triggers that were limiting my enjoyment of all of this. I mean, imagine having all of this technology around me, but I could only use most of it when I was on stream with all of you. Not that I minded that, but that put a heavy limit on many things. Imagine how hard it's been for me to leave the house, and now all of a sudden I can leave the house. I have the mobility scooter. It's all brought things round. have so many coping strategies. It's like this. This has to stay here. This paired with my phone allows me to talk to people on the phone. I don't like this. I don't like this. This bothers me. Having that there, talking to people on this, like, never liked it. It's an issue. It causes issues for my brain to have this that close. But by pairing it with this comfort speaker, I can sit back and relax. And I can, it's almost like I can put it over there. It's not here. It's nowhere near me. It's not near me. It's not going to bother me. And I can talk to people on the phone using it. Everything keeps me in this world. People have problems with me saying that things keep me alive, or I wouldn't be alive without that. But it's just a simple fact. People need to remember that I am classed as severely disabled. The coping strategies that I have developed, along with my medical team, over the past 4 years, have kept me going. So I am not saying, it is not drama, it is not hyperbole for me to say that without them there's a good chance I wouldn't be here. In 2019, I was at the point of having an end-of-life event. I was at the point where my very GPs admitted later that they were just waiting for the police to notify them of something happening with me. That I was being called by Samaritans once a week to check to see whether I was still alive. You can't get much lower than that. You can't get much lower. I was, and they knew that they were helpless to stop it because I was intelligent enough and had enough for me that no matter what they tried to do, even if they had tried to section me, that I would have figured out a way. And to go all the way from back there to this, to the point where the last of my actual specialists signed off on me earlier this year, that to not only have my general practitioner keeping an eye on me, that I'm here with all of you and that I do all of this is, I should pat myself on the back for that. This isn't to say that what I do in using all of this, using munchies, using computers, using technology, using the gamings and everything, would work for everybody else. It wouldn't. Mine was like a perfect storm. But I still have to be aware of problems and issues. For example, if I was out on my Quingo, on my mobility scooter, and it broke down while I was out there, I wouldn't be able to just get off it and walk home. I have accident and recovery stuff in place so that if anything goes wrong, I can ring a number on my phone and within a couple of hours they will come out to me. I have the same protection on my Pride Go, my backup one, because when I leave the house on my actual mobility scooters, I have to make sure that I've got all these coping strategies in place so I can do it. So I'm always very aware that I need layers upon layers of coping strategies. When I leave the house and I have my hoodie on and I'm on my thingy, I have enough equipment with me to deal with most disasters in life, because that's the only way I can function outside the house. And my house, inside myself, everything has to be a layer of backup, a layer of functionality, a layer of, if this isn't working, something else has to take its place. At the moment, I probably have close to 10 backups for my main PC. That would allow me to keep doing this. That would allow me to keep using games. Layers and layers of comfort blankets that keep the bad stuff out. And I've also learned, and we know from long term, that having someone here with me is a good thing. This is why when Monkey comes, things are so much easier when he's in the house. It's kind of weird. It's almost like when someone's in the house who I trust, and it has to be someone I trust. It can't be a stranger. Unfortunately, it couldn't be someone who I paid to come and spend time with me, like a nurse or anything like that, because my brain would instantly go to, what if I don't have the money to pay them? What if I'm relying on something that is based on something that could go away in a second, which would ruin it? But when my friends come and visit, then I can put aside a massive amount of my coping strategies. I don't have to listen to my audible books every time I get up. I don't have to do all these things that are in place, all the routines. I still have to make sure I've got a separate soap, and I have to make sure that certain things like my toothpaste is hidden away, things like that. But I can delegate, I can transfer a lot of, I can show up with this live human being in my house. It works so well to have that there, even to the point that we tried last time Monkey came here, me leaving the house without my Quingo, and we went for a walk just around the block. It wasn't easy, but the fact that it was able to be done. You got to remember, before my mobility scooter, when I had to leave the house for the preceding 4 years, 3.5, 4 years, I had to see, if it was a blood test, I could get them to come out to me. If it was a doctor's appointment, we could do it over the phone. The only times I had to leave the house, really, was for a CT scan and things like that. You can't do a CT scan at home and things like that. And I would have to prepare 2-3 days in advance. I would have to have my augmented reality glasses on. I would have to plan the journey perfectly. I would have to take my bag with me with backups of everything, and I would have to keep my head down on the floor and look down so no one would engage me or talk to me, because that would be a problem. And then I'd get to the hospital or I'd get to the doctor's office, and I'd have to try to control my breathing, because the chance of me having an anxiety attack and hyperventilating by the time I walk up the stairs into the doctor's office was very great. And the same with the hospitals. So all of this I talk about is very personal, but I talk about it so that I want those dealing with anxiety, those dealing with autism, to know that life is possible. Independence is possible. Having your own space and be able to do your own things is possible. It's not fucking easy. And for every single person, it's going to be unique and different. And you need to figure out and find out what your limits are, what you need. Some will need medication. Some will need a nurse. Some will need to live in a care-assisted home. Some will need a carer or a service dog or animal. But there's always a way for you to be helped. But just like everybody else, I will make mistakes. I will fail sometimes. Shit, that happens a lot. One of the big things I'm trying to do at the moment is control my eating. I really do want to lose 5 kilograms. But the challenges of it is going to be very hard because of my unique situation. But I'm not the only person who deals with all this kind of shit. One of the big weaknesses I have at the moment is food. Food is such a comfort thing. When I stress eat. And a lot of people do that. So it's hard. It's really hard. It's really hard. But we work on it all together. So take care of yourself. You're wonderful.